All right, everybody, thanks for joining us on the Castle Lanes Facebook page as we are in the last few minutes of practice for the 2021-22 Midwinter High School Classic. I'm $2 Phil Brilo with you here from Castle Lanes and Racine. Once again, I want to thank Phil and Patty Onko, Alan Bloom, and the great staff here at Castle Lanes for a heck of a day. We started the day with 12 boys teams, 6 girls teams. We're down to our final 2 girls teams. The final 4 for the boys is going on a little farther down. You'll see the final two teams in that match coming up shortly after this match finishes. Right now we have Indian Trail bowling McGuanago on the boys' side and Oostburg Sheboygan North bowling Oak Creek. So 3 teams that we've seen on Midwinter Classics in the past, this being the 12th edition, whether it was on Time Warner Cable Sports, Spectrum Sports, or the live stream here. And we got a chance for a new team making that final for the boys. As we do here for the girls with Beaver Dam making their initial finals appearance at the Midwinter Classic. And we've seen Kenosha Tremper numerous times over the years take home a bunch of titles from this Midwinter Classic over the years. Road to the finals, Kenosha Tremper, after 10 games of qualifying, was the number 1 seed. They had a first-round bye, ended up taking on McGuanago. McGuanago was a 5 seed. Took out 4 seed Racine Park in the opening match play round, did McGuanago. And they got down early against Tremper. McGuanago was down 2-0. Fought back. Tremper and McGuanago ended up going to a 5th and final deciding game with a best-of-5 match. And Tremper with an early 5-bagger got a big lead and held on 233-165 in that final game to advance to this championship match. Beaver Dam was our number 3 qualifier. And you would have thought with taking on number 2 Racine Case bowlers that have experienced Castle Lanes very often, maybe a little bit of, maybe not a home field advantage, but definitely familiarity with the center. But Beaver Dam, 3 straight games, took down Racine Case to advance to this championship match. So pattern here once again, Castle Lanes house pattern we put out for the Midwinter Classic. No perfect games today. Actually, I don't know if the young players didn't break them down real well or what, but we've had some teams in the past that averaged 230 plus on the boys' side during qualifying. Only 1 team breaking the 210 mark this year. And it actually took 4th seed
Order number 97, your food is ready in the kitchen.
on the boys' side. McGuanago, an under 200 average to get a first-round bye in match play on the boys' side. So quality shots need to be made. Sure, there's a little room for error with speed and targeting, but you don't want to make any combinations of that. Otherwise, you could definitely find yourself in quite a bit of trouble. Down to our last 40 seconds of practice or so. We're going to get lineups from the coaches. And we will be underway momentarily. Enjoy the last few practice shots when I come back. Competition, the girls' finals will begin for this Midwinter Classic between Kenosha Tremper and Beaver Dam.
We're on the left lane. We're going to bowl first. They get choice.
Time to talk to your players after the first game, so we change the initials on the scoreboard. Wait for my prompt. I said everybody can't stay back where we are now. We'll get you.
Do you want to help us do one more? Of course you do.
Wait a second. We'll give the crowd. Let's tell the crowd to give a nice round of applause. The dice down. You guys do your cheer. They do theirs, and you guys can go ahead and start.
One shot in the right. One shot. We just.
Oh, the crowd is active now. We are underway here at Castle Lanes and Racine for the 2021-22 Midwinter Classic. I'm $2 Phil with you again. We've got Beaver Dam starting out on the left lane. Kenosha Tremper, the higher seed, had lane choice. And they opted to let Beaver Dam start this game. It's a best of 3 match, so they will switch after the second game. If we are tied at 1-1, we will get Kenosha Tremper lane choice in the third game as top seed. So there's a little bit of advantage to qualifying higher in this event as we go all the way through the event. And leading us off is Lexi Vanderkolk for Beaver Dam. Lexi, a sophomore. And she'll be leading things off here for Beaver Dam. Gets it to sit, takes 10 down, and the opening strike for Beaver Dam. Jordan Norvell, a junior at Tremper, taking in the lanes here. Throwing it from the port side on lane 4. See that ball come into play. Rolls up nicely. Can't get the 2-8 to go. Pardon me, 3-9. Gee, being left-handed, you think I'd know my left-handed spare combinations. Come on, $2 Phil. Norvell, her big career achievement last year, second at singles state last year. Well, it was being her very first youth tournament. And she gets the 3 but not the 9 in the really open frame for Tremper. As Rayanne Gayan takes the lanes for Brown Deer. There you see a long 4 steps to the line, the follow through. Ball's rolling up a little early, but it holds. And the opening double for Brown Deer. As we have Aubrey Juga. Juga, freshman, making the team. And her big achievement in high school, winning state singles and team with her middle school team last year. Gets to scramble, takes the 10 down. And a great toss for Juga. Carly Albert. And the approach in the number 3 spot. Once again, Baker Bowling. If you're not familiar with Baker Bowling, we'll run that down for you after Albert's shot. And once again, that's what happens. You're getting that bit of the puddle on the house pattern. And next thing you know, the ball doesn't get to pick up, roll properly to get through the pocket. 5, you saw scoot in front of the 8 for Albert, and this should be a relatively easy spare. Talking things over with the coaching staff from Beaver Dam, and she'll probably most likely just move a couple of boards to the right with her feet. No, it looks like she's going to go a little more direct at it, so they moved her a little left and just take it from point A to point B. Trying to get the spare. Down lane, hooks into it, no problem. And the marks keep rolling for Beaver Dam. Rayanne Calsto up in the 3 spot for Kenosha Tremper. Calsto, a junior. She's made the 7-10 and a big 4 at her young age. That's impressive. Hey, you throw shots like that, you don't have to worry about a 7-10 or a big 4. There's bowlers that have gone their entire careers without making splits like that. Sophia and Rudy stepping up here for Beaver Dam. 4th frame, opening game. All 10 go. And the early advantage out to Beaver Dam. Problem is, both teams still have the same max score right now. As Caroline Lewis, the junior, steps up for Tremper. And that faces, you just see that ball dive right through the nose. And Coach Graham from Kenosha Tremper, I'm sure, telling his young player, take 2, take the count all important at this moment in time. You don't want to have a situation later on in the game where suddenly in 10th frame you could have gotten away with spare strike instead of needing a double. So we'll see what Lewis can do here. She's got a middle school state team title as well. She loves watching Liz Johnson, Daria Payak, and Chris Prather bowl. And there is the 2 down. And the Beaver Down crowd starts going wild for Samantha Rettig, senior at Beaver Dam. Another player loves Daria and Diana Zavyalova. Watch that ball come into your picture from the right. Scrambles it up, and you see the head pin. Doesn't let the 4 get over. And it should be a relatively easy spare for Rettig here. And the open frame, sometimes the overconfidence by the teammates. You heard him say, show them who Beaver Dam is. Unfortunately, you don't want to show them on an open. And now we've got Kristen Graham up for Kenosha Tremper. As Graham, a sophomore in that number 5 spot, comes high. 3-6 at the end of the lane. He should be relatively easy to clean up. Favorite player is Liz Johnson. Biggest influence on her youth bowling career, why? Her dad, Chris, head coach for the girls team at Kenosha Tremper, and Jerry Schultz. Jerry Schultz has been a part of the Tremper program for forever. Got to see Jerry again today for the first time in a couple of years. Always good seeing Jerry Schultz. And Graham needs to get 2 and gently hooks it in. Gets it done. And we've got Van de Kolk. Alexis. Her biggest influences in her bowling, her family and her coaches to this point in her career.
Order number 95, your food is ready. Order number 95.
No, it's welcome to high school bowling. Sometimes you get a lot of announcements and stuff going on, as you heard right there. Didn't rattle Van der Kolk too much, as she rings the 10-pin, goes for the change of the spare ball. Smart thing to do. Looking to keep her team with a 13-pin advantage. Eases it off the hand, right down lane. Beautifully done for Van de Kolk. And the lead remains at 13-4. Beaver Dam. Norvell stepping up off the port side. And the flat 7. As you're going to see here, got to get some balls off the rack here. She goes to the polyester ball as well. Moves well to the right in the approach. Almost lost her feet on the camera shot there. Goes to the side. There you see the ball come in play. Just tickles it down. And Tremper still stays within 13 pins. Once again, it is best 2 out of 3 match play. As Ryan Gann comes on for Beaver Dam in the 7th frame. One place she wants to travel someday, Oslo, Norway. Maybe she can beat Tori Torgerson, my favorite Norwegian bowler. Big break there as the 5 goes late for Gann, and the spare here keeps the team up by 13. Little adjustment to the wrist device. And that may need some help in the puddle here at Castle. Yep, and you saw, I could tell as soon as she put it down, just looked like it was going to be a little too much in the soup. And the open frame for Beaver Dam, and this is going to be a really close game here. If Aubrey Juga can take care of business here in Tremper's 7th frame. Coming into the pocket, needs some help, and yes, 2-4-5. Count there on that spare, going to give a couple pins back over the Beaver Dam. As their advantage with the spare here by Juga will be 5 pins. Juga loves playing softball on Sunday mornings during the summer if she's not bowling. And flirted with the chop. Kept it away. Now just 5 pins the advantage. As Carly Albert steps up, the junior for Beaver Dam. Favorite bowler, Kyle Troop. A lot of players' favorite bowler right there with Kyle Troop. All around quality human being there in Kyle. And gets the break going through the nose. And the 6-pin, all that remains. Once again, I like this for the young players. So smart early on. Learn to use that polyester ball. Take the lane out of play. Point A to point B on the spares. And make things happen. Right down, no problem there with the lane out of play. And Albert keeps the advantage at 5 pins. For Beaver Dam as Rand Calsto steps up. Calsto wants to go to Hawaii someday. Watch that ball face up, comes a little high, big break, splits out 7 and 10, leaving just the 6. Calsto, if she could bowl one game with any living person, who would it be? Jason Belmonte, because he is the best bowler in the world. Jason's been here to Castle Lanes. He's got a couple of, he's got a few pictures. He was here back in 2014, made a trip, bowled with some of the league bowlers, had a lot of stuff with the juniors. It was a neat trip for Jason to come to Castle Lanes in Racine. I'm sure, I know he loved all the 300 game ceiling tiles. That's something he wanted his family to do back at Orange 10-pin Bowl in Australia. As we have Sophia and Rudy up. 9th frame for Beaver Dam. 6 pins the advantage for Beaver Dam. The bowling idols, Daria Payuk, and the coaches. Mixes it up. How about that? And a huge foundation frame strike for Beaver Dam by Rudy. And Caroline Lewis is going to try to bounce back off the split she had on her last time up in the 4th frame. Once again, Baker formats, all players bowl 2 frames each game, 5 frames apart. Lewis on Sunday mornings, she's either hanging with friends or sleeping if she's not on the lanes. Wow, vicious wrap 10. Vicious for Lewis right there. And it's one of those ones where you hear that 6 whistle around the 10 by the time it's going through into the pit, but you got to refocus here. Get yourself in that perfect mental mode. And make sure you cover up your spare. And another errant frame by Lewis. And now it's just going to take a mark by Samantha Radig in order to lock up game 1. Radig's the senior. What skill do most people know she doesn't have? For Radig, she goes, I can cry on command. And then she put bowling exclamation point. Yeah, bowling will definitely make you cry on occasion, but a strike here would give her a reason to cry for a different purpose, even a mark. Problem is, you got the 2-5 there, chop and play for the right-hander. Maximum score right now. Is 185 for Beaver Dam. So most Tremper you can see is 177 after that 9th frame open. So Radig here, just a mark and 3 pins will be enough. And she got that one just enough to the dry. And stay behind the foul line, knock 3 pins over, and Beaver Dam will take a 1-game to none advantage. Over Kenosha Tremper. But once again, best of 3 match for these ladies. Behind the foul line, no problem. And 7's more than enough. And we'll post that opening game win for Beaver Dam on the board. Kristen Graham's going to finish things off for Kenosha Tremper here in game 1. Be a short little break after this game. We'll keep the feed going as Graham leans on the 10-pin and takes it down. Coaches will get a chance to talk to the players. They can make any lineup changes they choose. Once again, players can be substituted for at any time in a game, but most of the time, unless it's for a specific spare, you don't see a player substituted for until after a game. And they will switch lanes. Beaver Dam will move to lane 4. Kenosha Tremper will move to lane 3. And they always fall when it doesn't matter. Pin count irrelevant right now. But to get yourself lined up for the next game, have that confidence going, hey, you know, if I need to punch 3 in the 10th for a win, Graham's going to feel a little bit better about being able to do that with punching the first 2 here. So Graham's going to throw her fill shot. And we're going to let the team switch pairs. And your opening game. Taken down by Beaver Dam, 182 to 176. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes with game 2. Coaches are talking to their players. See you in a moment.
Order number 97, food's ready in the kitchen, 97.
All right. Game 2 getting ready to get underway. Don't know if we're getting any cheers or chants or what's going on for the teams down there, but somebody's got to get fired up. There we go. Let's get fired up. There it goes for Tremper. Jordan Norvell starting things off on the left lane. Tremper down 1-0 after that opening 182 to 176 loss to Beaver Dam. Best of 3 game match. That one quickly goes high. And the 2-4-7 for Norvell, the junior. Is, a lot of people don't know that Norvell ice skates and ice skates very well as she coaches basic skating for the kids. And unfortunately, talking about skating, that one skates by for Norvell. And the open frame for Tremper as Alexis Vandekolk, Lexi, as you hear the chant goes out for the crowd. Well, I don't know if this is, well, I guess it's a skill. I mean, Joy Chestnut's done it for years. Vandekolk says she can eat a lot of food for her skill. That's a skill. As she gets up all just left the second arrow. You see that one coming up a bit high and leaves just the 4-pin. As we are now into game 2 of this Midwinter Classic Girls Final. So thanks to everybody that's watching right now. Counter's just going up through the roof on Facebook Live. And sorry I haven't had a chance to look at the comments. I'm one-man crew here today. So I'll try to go through them later on, answer any questions people may have had about the live stream today, but I know there's a lot of people looking in to cheer both Beaver Dam and Kenosha Tremper, and that one overhooks. And the open frame for Beaver Dam means Caroline Lewis gets a chance to right some wrongs from game one. Couple opens for Lewis, and they move her out of the 4 spot into the 2 spot. And that one hooks up nicely. There you go. That'll help you get rid of the slump. Great shot there by Lewis. Gets the first strike of the game, 2 on the board. As Ryan Gann steps up for Beaver Dam. And how about that? Beaver Dam matches the Tremper strike. Keeps her match even, the game even after 2 frames. Beaver Dam with the 1-0 advantage in this best-of-3 match. We know one of our finalists for the boys right now, as Oak Creek took down Oostburg in 3 straight games to advance to the finals. So you'll see Oak Creek coming up shortly as Aubrey Juga steps up in the 3rd frame. And that ball, once again, the house shot puddle. Sometimes you get the little help left when you miss left, but a little bit of left and a little extra speed, and that ball does nothing but go past the head pin. Caliber player that Juga is, I would give her about a 50-50 chance of making this. And yeah, that's what I get for doubting somebody, as Juga, the huge conversion there for Tremper. Keeps from losing count on the, they were on a strike, so keeps from losing any additional count with an open frame. Here's Carly Albert. Albert can cross one eye while leaving the other one straight. All right. I'm going to have to ask her about that when she's done bowling. I don't want to have her do it in the middle of a match. Big double for Brown Deer there by Albert. Stuffs 10 back. As Rayan Calsto steps up. And Tremper's half of the 4th frame. Apparently Calsto has no additional skills other than bowling. We asked her skill or talent. Most people don't know you have. She just wrote not applicable. There you go. The nice post at the line. Ball down the lane. Well, you know, if you're shredding racks like that, I guess you don't have to worry about any other talents in life if you're Calsto. Just keep shredding rights, shredding racks, leaving your teammates happy with you. And we've got Sophia and Rudy up. Rudy likes to do a lot of drawing when she's not out on the lanes. Bit of an artistic side. Big behind the back swing. Oh, and just tickles the 5 down. Big 3-bagger for Beaver Dam. As Kristen Graham steps up for Kenosha Tremper. Saw Tremper and Graham get the big double in the 10th, so she's got to be feeling a little confident right now. Post at the line, gets it in the pocket, wiggles them around, and do not count. Kenosha Tremper out of this one yet as Samantha Radig steps up. Favorite app on her phone. I bet you it's probably every kid's favorite app is either TikTok or Snapchat. This one's TikTok for Radig. My favorite app's my stock market app for TD Ameritrade, but that's a whole other story we won't get into. The kids will learn. And there it is, 4 in a row for Beaver Dam. And it's not quite mandatory strike mode for Kenosha Tremper, but they got to be feeling a little extra pressure at the moment. And Norvell's got a double she's working on for her team. You keep striking, you're only down by 20 pins and cut it back to 10 here. If Norvell can put another strike on the board for Tremper, that one, yeah, a little elbow at the release. And that one just kind of got a little right early. And the 6-pin remains for Norvell. Norvell, a Snapchat fan. I'm telling you, I'll get these kids like in TD Ameritrade sooner or later. Even Robinhood I can deal with. You know, make a little money while you're in high school. So, and Sunday mornings for Norvell, if she's not on the lanes bowling her high school bowling, she's either working or shopping with mom. And just gets that 6-pin to go. And you hear the Beaver Dam crowd getting loud, getting into it, as is up to Lexi Vanderkolk to keep this string going. They're on 4 in a row. Looking for 5 in a row here. Sunday mornings, she'll sit at home and watch movies if she's not out on the lanes. I like a good movie. Watch that ball pick up. It's picking up early, needs some help. And no help on the 6-7. Once again, once you get in this situation in match play, count huge. And you're ready to hear the coach going, just get the 1. You don't need the miracle conversion. You got the lead right now. You're still up by around 10 pins or so. Even with the open frame. And wow, she did give it a ride. Got the 1, but gave everybody a bit of a thrill there. So 125 for Beaver Dam, max of 245. Kenosha Tremper, the strike here can max at 238 for Caroline Lewis. She's a really good baker when she's not out bowling. And Baker, once again, that little bit of the house shot puddle, keeping the ball from finishing hard. And Lewis is going to have just that 8-pin to look to convert. And she likes Wattpad for her favorite app. No problem on the cover. But the frames are starting to run out for Kenosha Tremper. And you hear the cries there for Ray. Rayanne Gann plays the saxophone when she's not out on the lanes. Needs some help there. Big break. Taking the 10 down, leaving just the 3-pin. And Sunday mornings, she's out there making sure she can go on the trips and pay for the bowling balls and stuff. She's not on the lanes. She's out working at the deli in Beaver Dam. So talking it over with the coaching staff here too about how to approach this 3-pin. Nothing wrong with making sure what you're seeing. So what you want to do if you want to go at it with, it's one of those ones where you can simply move your feet a few boards to the left, go at it with your strike ball, or give your spare ball a shot. And it looks like she's going to go with the strike ball. A little bit of the baby hook. And it's not a bad thing that she did to talk about, because we saw her spare attempt in the first frame. She hooked in front of it. Or last game, I'm sorry. Let's see what Aubrey Juka can do here in the 8th frame. Her team down by 8 pins, and a strike here would help Tremper's cause, no doubt about it. Try to get back in this match. And she makes the adjustment off the washout a little bit, but needed some more, as the 2-4-5 stands for the freshman. Plays a lot of volleyball and softball when she's not out on the lanes. Loves her TikTok. Says because it makes her laugh. You got to have humor in your life, no doubt about that. And that needs some help. And, well, that's where the puddle in the middle helped Juga there, because some sport conditions, college conditions, that would have been a miss left. Would have barely hit the left side of the 2-pin, but Juga with the help as Carly Albert steps up. Beaver Dams half, frame number 8. The 4 steps to the line. That tipped off her hand a little early, and you could see why. What happened there as the 6'10" remains standing. And Albert moves well to the right on the approach. Trying to take the chop out of play, gets them both. And the advantage remains 9 pins for Beaver Dam with just 2 frames remaining. Ray Ann Calsto up, the junior from Tremper. Loves watching the PBA or PWBA on TV, even replays on Sunday mornings if she's not on the lanes. Look at that form. She could post that all day. Never lose that balance. But she leaves herself the 2-pin. And tell you what, coaching staff from Beaver Dam talking to Sophia Amputi right now, just trying to get her in the frame of mind because they know how important a foundation frame strike could be. With Tremper only working on a spare in their 9th frame if Calsto converts. Calsto loves TikTok. She loves watching the Motive Bowling TikTok on there. So, hey, Brett Spangler, potential staffer coming up with Calsto. Let's see what Sophia and Pudi can do here. Loves her YouTube. Wants to go to the UK for a dream trip. I think you get Stu Williams, Don Barrett, Richie Teese as your personal guides. That can be a lot of fun. Big shot here in the 9th. Comes high. And there you see, leaving just the 6-pin as Pudi was coming right into your living room there for a second. Huge conversion to keep the lead at 9 pins, getting into the 10th frame. Going to the polyester ball, hands off another instrument of doom to a teammate. And let's see what Rudy can do here on the 6-pin. Coming into your frame, dead on it. There you see the hands go up in the air, and Beaver Dam knows the title is close, but Kristen Graham's got a lot to say about this right now. We saw her double last game. Tremper can still get to 203. If Graham can strike out, that's going to force Radig from Beaver Dam to double in the 10th to take the title back to Beaver Dam. Otherwise, we're going to be going to a game 3. But it all starts now with Kristen Graham. Graham, first one, 6, doesn't do the job on the 10. And now it's a definite must convert for Graham as she goes to get the Snow White polyester ball. Try to take down that pesky corner pin. Graham loves her TikTok as well, and on Sunday mornings when she's not bowling, find her at home. That needs to tickle it, and it does. So it's interesting now because count's going to be huge on this fill ball, 192 the max for Kenosha Tremper with a strike on the fill by Graham. That would force a mark out of Radig from Beaver Dam. So this is where these players, they know they want to step up when need be. Graham threw a decent shot First ball of the 10th, didn't take the 10 down. And that counts huge right there because that leaves it at 190. Radig, if she were to go 9 out, would also be at 190. 8 or less on the first ball for Radig, and it would take a mark for Beaver Dam to take home this Midwinter Classic title. And let's see if all the chilling at home on Sundays can help her throw this first one on the 10th. Looks chill. There it is. And your champions for the girls division. And we're going to get a substitute after Radig threw that one on the 10th. We're going to get Jennifer Bennett in. Bennett, a freshman. Let the teammates take the victory lap. Young player just starting out the game. She's got it going towards the crossover pocket. Still gets nine down. And, hey, not a bad day for any of these ladies out here today. A disappointment, is going to be felt for Kenosha Tremper for a bit. But they know the big goal, state tournament in March. And it's not an easy road to get out of District 3A, Racine, Kenosha, to get the state tournament this year in the girls division. They've got the work cut out for them against teams like Racine Case on the girls' side for Kenosha Tremper. And there we go. Nothing but the handshakes and the awards. Now, we're going to end this stream. We're going to start a brand new stream for the boys' final because it's going to be a little bit yet. They're going to have to get some practice in, fill out some information, that type of thing. But you're going to see Indian Trail, your number 1 seed, against your number 3 seed, Oak Creek, coming up. Join us back here in about 20 minutes. So, for that final for the boys Midwinter Classic. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on the Castle Lanes Facebook page. Boys final coming up next.